Does not have any privileged basis to refuse entirely to testify regarding these topics.
Yay, Liz Cheney, good velociraptor. Let's feed her. Let's feed her. Ah! Jesus.
She'll take your hand.
Serves you right.
She will.
Let's see. Jose says, breaking news, Representative Cheney hints at where this is going. Federal criminal charges for President Trump.
Oh, yeah.
She read this federal statute.
Yeah,
Yes. Did Donald Trump, through actions or inactions, corruptly seek to obstruct or impede Congress's proceedings? She's reading 18 U.S. 1505.
Yeah.
OMG.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Karen in Chicago. Yay, she wants to celebrate with us. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, hi.
Very good morning.
Isn't it weird that I think I caught the last rat right when Liz Cheney?
Yeah.
Right when all this broke open?
Fingers crossed, yes.
Yes.
So, you know what? Yeah, this is the tip of the iceberg. And Liz Cheney read only a few high-profile people's text messages, right?
Yes.
So what all of the, and I think it was Hugo Lowell was on Morning Joe this morning saying that he is aware of many, many more from Republican members of Congress that were being sent.
Pardon me, Karen. I feel like this deserves multiple drama stings. I'm ill-equipped. I only have one. Okay, go ahead.
So seriously, what these people,
We're like drama stinging Karen to death like a scorpion.
Oh, it's like ow, ow,
ow, ow.
Okay, so really, what this should signal to the rest of these people who know that they sent text messages, either planning the January 6th attack on the Capitol and the overturning of our democracy. What this should signal to all of them is they might want to start coming forward and cooperating with the committee.
Yeah. Well, that's what it looks like it's happening with this. Who's the NASCAR driver? Dustin Stockton.
Yeah, and Jennifer Lawrence started Hunger Games.
Right, but that's exactly it, Karen. That's how justice is supposed to work.
Yeah.
That you go, oh, we don't have the resources of Steve Bannon or whatever. You know, all these people, you're facing jail and financial ruin, and you know. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's brilliant, and I have to think it's Liz Cheney's doing that they're putting that out there, because I agree. I think that Democrats, we are too nice. And like even when Zoe Lofgren was talking, she's just like, although we like you personally, you know, it's like she's apologizing to Mark Meadows. It's like, we have to do this, you know. And I'm like,
he's a traitor. The more that comes out, he belongs under the prison, man. Yeah. He was behind all of this.
Absolutely. The Democrats need to accept the fact that these people who you thought were good people, and, you know, even though you disagreed with them politically, you know, and even though, you were friendly with them or whatever in the halls of Congress, these people are all in on this now.
Right.
They're not, you know, so it's like, stop being conciliatory, stop thinking that any of these people are heroes or good people and they're just behind the scenes, you know, talking about Trump and you know, they're all in.
No, Liz Cheney went right for the jugular, and I liked what somebody else had the same reaction I did about Benny Thompson. I liked what he said about yeah, here it is. Wait, Daphne said, I appreciated Chairman Thomas' explanation that the public will be made aware of the totality of the investigation, but not in a piecemeal fashion, which can be lessened over time. I like that strategy. Listening to the committee today, I was really heartened, and I have faith. I mean, for those of Baruch assaults, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but those of us that are very impatient for justice and perhaps want it now, for all of us that have been screaming like little bitches, Karen.
Right.
You kind of get it. You kind of get it. He's like, wait, hold. You know, even Rob Reiner said it on TV, what I said a couple days ago. No one's paying attention now because people are like, we should have been hearings now. It's like, no, not now.
Next year.
After, next year is election year and after the holidays. Nobody's, paying attention.
Absolutely. And if last night was a preview of the hearing that we're going to be witnessing, you know, the weeks and weeks of televised hearings, if it's what they say it is, I love it.
Right? All of us have been spinning on our backs, and then we're like, oh, holy, look at what just happened last night on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm feeling very positive, and I'm very happy. And,
Yeah.
oh, thank goodness.
No, it is
finally.
weird. I've just, been through the ratpocalypse here and learning sources and methods. And there's just some things that must be done, Karen, is my point. Is my point. When you have live rats in your
Absolutely.
Congress, is my point. All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Love you all.
Chewing through the wires of everything
That's
in
right.
Congress.
Yep.
Oh,
Have you gotten a single complaint about your non-use of live traps?
hold please. I was just
Uh-oh.
reaching for a letter
Oh boy.
from a
Okay.
liberal.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
I was
Tells you
wondering if
why we usually.
Yeah. I was wondering if this might come.
Oh, it's beyond. I guess I don't even know if it's a hate letter. You know, it's a liberal helper letter.
Oh.
About-
Yeah. Love that.
John from Oak Park. Stephanie, I listen most days and have for years, much to the distress of my wife. Well, first of all, let me just question choice of a wife. I don't know what her deal is, but let's just leave that there. Sorry to hear about your rat problems, but what I hear from you about this is some of the same anti-black, anti-liberal, anti-Muslim, anti-democratic, anti-gay,
What?
Excuse me?
rhetorical emotion outgassing that you get from right-wing cesspools.
Huh?
I don't get what
I
you're
don't
saying.
understand.
If you look at the technique, find something everybody hates, stir up emotion, then change the subject to what you want them to hate, make poetic, comic, or emotional comparisons to start to shift that hate to your target. Let's look at racism, homophobia, Islamophobia. So careful, you don't want to go down that rat hole of hate too much, or you will sound like those that you rightly hate, and for the reason
What?
Don't
they
understand.
spread hate. Comparisons of people they hate to various disliked animals.
What?
See, equating is part of their equation. Please don't make it part of your equation. Respectfully, John from
John from Oak Park.
Oak Park.
who apparently
I don't-
not wanting live rats in my house is racist, sexist, homophobic, and Islamophobic
Yes.
somehow because,
I'm confused.
or maybe me calling them awful people, big bags of rats that are all fighting and they're all awful.
Maybe that's. I don't know.
I apologize for something. You know what, John? Let me just give a blanket apology for everything in my life that I've ever done or said.
Oh, that's a
Will
lot.
that cover it?
That's a lot.
Yes. Well, that's what Paul Gosar wanted, a blanket pardon.
Yeah.
That's what I just gave myself.
I can think of some things on the old station that you did.
Well,
that-
let's not dig up.
You've been doing that all week.
Let's not get in the crawl space. We
What?
just figured out what's going on in the house.
we might have something on this week's Patreon show that
What?
that you might need to apologize
Oh
for.
no. Okay.
Just do it now.
Adam tweets, if only Hannity, Kilmeade, and Ingram had some way of reaching Trump supporters on that day and the 340 days since to tell them what happened was wrong. Yeah, if only they had some sort of outlet, platform
Platform.
Something,
of
yeah.
some sort that they
Yeah.
might in some way.
If only people were.
Oh, kind of quell the treason and insurrection happening, the ongoing coup. If anyway, they had some sort of megaphone, that'd be... Okay. Let's listen to our Velociraptor again.
Oh, do we have to?
Our pet Velociraptor, Liz Cheney.
The violence was evident to all. It was covered in real time by almost every news channel. But for 187 minutes,
Almost every.
President Trump refused to act. When action by our president was required, essential, and indeed compelled by his oath to our Constitution. Mr. Meadows received numerous text messages, which he has produced without any privilege claim, imploring that Mr. Trump take the specific action we all knew his duty required. These text messages leave no doubt the White House knew exactly what was happening here at the Capitol.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Wow, heat-seeking missile. First of all, Jody, Law and Order. Hello.
Hello.
I
Gunk,
don't.
gunk.
Is he just really dumb? Does he have really bad lawyers? Like, legally, this is insane that he already gave them stuff that he's now trying to say is privileged.
Right.
He gave it to them.
Yeah.
He wrote it in a book. He goes on Fox News and talks about it. Like, how? And then that just legally is so dumb. It makes no sense.
And like Jill Wine-Banks and her sisters-in-law say constantly, when you're talking about crime,
yeah.
that's not privileged.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. But there's some layers of dumb of this that I don't really get. But okay. Velociraptor, please, go ahead. Yes.
Dozens of texts, including from Trump administration officials, urged immediate action by the president. Quote, POTUS has to come out
Get
firmly.
the biggest
and tell
aluminum tree you can
protesters
find.
to
Oh, okay, all right.
That was
Yeah,
weird.
maybe just one thing at a time on the laptop.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
here is Liz Cheney again.
Okay.
Dozens of texts, including from Trump administration officials, urged immediate action by the president. Quote, POTUS has to come out firmly and tell the protesters to dissipate. Someone is going to get killed. In another, Mark, he needs to stop this now. Third, in all caps, tell them to go home. A fourth, and I quote, POTUS needs to calm this down.
Wow.
Oh my.
Don Jr. says dirty word.
Oh, we got that one too.
I know, and plus everybody's saying how hilarious Jody is. Did he not have his dad's number? I guess not.
Well, it could also
He
be
must be blocked.
It also could be like a mob boss would do. Don't come to me directly,
Right.
so there's no attachment
Right.
directly to the
But
So
president.
Don
does-
Jr.'s frantically texting Meadows over and over again.
Does Trump use text? I don't think he
Yeah. I
don't
does.
think he
But he has,
does.
he has a phone.
Yeah, but he doesn't text because
He
that
doesn't
leaves a trail.
He does not put anything into
Wait.
writing.
Right.
Where are we in the
Not from himself.
Velociraptor?
We are at 19.
Okay, one
All
more,
right.
one last one. Here we go.
As the violence continued, one of the president's sons texted Mr. Meadows, quote, he's got to condemn this ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough, Donald Trump Jr. texted. Meadows responded, quote, I'm pushing it hard. I agree. Still, President Trump did not immediately act. Donald Trump Jr. texted again and again, urging action by the president. Quote, we need an Oval Office address. He has to lead now. It has gone too far and gotten out of hand, end quote.
I mean, Jody, they got to, in the final case when they, televise all this, they've got to use that, Liz Cheney again reading,
Right.
And then by that time they will have identified the lawmakers when they make
Yeah.
the final case really to America and to DOJ presumably, right? But all the tech from the lawmakers, from Fox News hosts, what was I going to say? Oh, and they should play the tape of Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell the day after,
Yeah.
right?
Well, what I noticed in the text from Mark Meadows back to Donnie was that he said, I know I'm pressing hard, which means he was talking to the president,
Yeah.
saying, do this. That right there is an admission that the president knew what was going
Yeah.
on and refused to do it. That's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
There's your crime in.
Our friend Glenn Kirshner said, I am beyond impressed by the power, eloquence, and frankly, the legal and factual elegance of the presentation by each and every member of the bipartisan House Select Committee. My gratitude for their pro-democracy efforts runs deep. Hashtag Team Justice. Yeah, Rachel Bidikofer said, every single Republican that opens their mouth to drop the big lie in an interview better get, did you know about the coup plot thrown right back at them?
Yep.
Thank you. This is
Yep.
like, enough with this, playing cute and, I believe in integrity. Do you believe the president was elected fairly? I believe in an election integrity and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. Do you believe, and were you aware of this? Because the other thing is, obviously they briefed some members of the Senate.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Lindsay.
Oh, yeah.
And the House, but then you go, others had to have heard about it,
Sure.
even if they
Of
weren't
course.
directly briefed. They heard about it from other.
Right.
They had to have all known what was happening, right? I mean, it's. By the way, Harry Littman, our friend, one last one, said people are seeing some of the Docs and Meadows voluntary production as real smoking guns, but they really don't tell us a lot more than we already knew. The 1,000 texts in his cell phone he ditched after January 6th are another matter. His court filing suggests that he's really worried there.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
said this yesterday that. This is what he voluntarily gave up.
Yeah.
Imagine what
What
he's
he's hiding,
hiding.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Ay, ay, ay.